It was okay with you guys. Wow, microphone. I'm going to keep my jacket on because it's quite cold in here, but don't worry, because if I get elected, I'll fix that immediately for you. Right, okay. First of all, right, I want to say hi to everyone at home, because chances are, if you're here today, you know a lot about the elections, the candidates standing, so it's more about people at home, because hopefully you guys have made up your mind already. But good evening to those at home. My name's Joshua Hong. A little bit of background information about myself. I'm a fourth-year business student, current president of the Enactus Society. I'm a policy council representative, welcome team survivor. I'm 21 years old and my favourite colour is purple, apparently. Right, so less than 7.5% of students volunteer at Strathclyde, apparently, according to the figures. Something must have gone wrong there somewhere. I mean, we have a bar downstairs which is offering £1 drinks more than one day of the week, yet somehow it's empty. Something's gone wrong. Overall, my main intention is to be the bridge between the active students and the non-active students. I intend to do that through some of the following ways. I want to enhance the presence of clubs on campus. I want to make sure everyone knows what's going on. Some of you might be familiar with some of the sports teams that we have here. I can think of in the library, I remember Robbie Rennick being up there, showcased everywhere. I don't know why we can't do the same for students in other societies. It's not just sports that we should be celebrating. People can't know what we're doing if they don't see us active on campus. I'd like to promote some real reasons for people to enter the union. So we have a stage up here, it's called Vertigo. The first time I came here, I saw N-Dubs and Funeral for a Friend, and that added so much legitimacy to the student union, in my opinion. But why do we not have student bands on there every day? Why is it empty? We need to get this sorted. I think we need to emphasise to the students that graduate recruiters really do care about what we're doing in our spare time these days. My society personally, last week we had Enterprise Rent-A-Car and Charters coming along just to meet our members. I'd like to offer that to all students, and I already have the connections to do so. Not specifically those companies though, we'll sort it according to society. I'd also like to ensure that student achievement is rewarded and recognised, and also increase the reach of student media, because we do need to create that sense of community on campus. But it's not so much about all these promises actually. I mean, I do intend to make good on them, but every year we see manifesto promises, they're thrown at the wall, some of them stick, but most of them don't stick. So realistically, I've been basing my campaign on actually going out and talking to students, seeing what they want. Every society and sports club in the university has received an email from me. Hopefully it wasn't too harassing, but I just want to get along and meet all the members. I've tried to talk to as many people as possible. Even when I was not a candidate, I spend most of my time sitting on level 7 all day long just doing my work. I see students come in, I see students go out, I hear the problems in between. So I really do know what the kind of needs are. And this book's filling up quite quickly with notes. So I'm ready to represent. Thanks very much. That's all I have to say, really. I hope you'll vote for me, and thanks again to the viewers at home. Thank you.
Thomas McLeod. Hello everyone, I'm Thomas McLeod. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so apologies for making funny faces or my voice goes weird. I'm standing for Vice President of Activities and Development, and I feel that I can really help with all the clubs and societies that are around. I was a Club and Society Executive Member today, well not this year, so I've seen the funding requests and I've seen the new club applications and I've seen all these things that come in and everything that gets rejected. And it almost saddens me to see some of these things that happen. I mean, just some things around. We advertise that we are available for you to come and talk to us, and a lot of people don't, and that's quite sad. I want more people to come into the union, to volunteer their time, and to get involved with clubs and societies and speak to level 7 and get to know everything that there is to know. So one of my aims is to increase the number of volunteers in level 7 and in all the clubs and societies in general, to get more clubs out and about the union, so we've got more diversity and just more fun times to be had, essentially. I also plan to increase the awareness of funding. Like I've said, we've seen some funding applications come in and they've been a bit, disappointing. So I want to make people aware of what they can and can't apply for, and how they should, put things down so that they can actually get what they're wanting. I also want to get more space in the union. one of the problems I've had as being a committee member for clubs and societies, I've been president, secretary, treasurer, and equipment officer of many clubs and societies throughout my years here, and it's just, there's no equipment space for anything. Level 10 has rooms available, but they're all filled with things from freshers years and years before, and they're never used. So I want to make all that space available, give clubs and societies rooms that they need and that they deserve, essentially, in the union. So I want to make that a big point, that if you're a club and society, you'll get what you need to be a club and society, and everyone will be treated equally through that. Like I said, I've been president, secretary, treasurer, etc. I've been executive member for clubs and societies. I've also been a policy council representative as well, so I feel that I've seen a lot of how the union works. So I feel I can make these changes that need to occur. And I also want to make clubs more sustainable. I've again been in clubs and societies where the clubs have simply fallen apart because all the committee members graduated and there was no one left there to take the committee positions and carry on the clubs. So I want to help with like pamphlets and things like that to help explain the committee positions and what would be expected of the committee members as a role for president, and how to get core societies to, you know, meet up and meet with the lower groups and get everyone talking, get everyone meeting, and get everyone having good times. You know, you're not just at uni to just do your course and leave. There's also all the fun times to be had in union. And that's really important. I know that my university experience has been enhanced so much by being here, and I feel that it should be the same for everyone else. So yeah, vote for me as Thomas for VPAD. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the role of Vice President Activities and Development requires passion, it requires ingenuity, and it requires a proven track record in all aspects of clubs and societies and union volunteering in general. It also requires a balance of confidence to see through your own ideas and open-mindedness towards discussing the ideas of others. My name is Matt Graham, and I have these attributes in abundance, and that's why I should be your next VPAD. But you needn't just take my word for it. Let's look at the facts. With a background in music, I've been at the forefront of the campaign against cuts to arts and culture budgets. And I've gone on to face these cuts and play a key role in guiding musical activities through a complete structural transformation. During my 2-year presidency, I have taken the Strathclyde University Concert Band from near collapse, and I have doubled weekly rehearsal attendance, and I have doubled concert attendance figures, as well as turning the social scene into something that was non-existent, into a weekly post-rehearsal social turnout of 30 people or more. Alongside positions held in the Clubs and Societies Executive Committee and the Policy Council, this is proof that I know how the union works and I know how to make a club flourish within it. Over the past year, I have been discussing union matters with a wide spectrum of clubs, not sporting or non-sporting. It seemed a good idea maybe to do my market research prior to releasing my brand, rather than the other way around. As such, I have gradually built a bank of solid, positive, and most of all feasible ideas which I can carry out within my job remit, and which I believe can aid in leading the union back to the popular venue it once was. These ideas include the further development of the club's network, which has come on a long way this year, but in particular expanding the reach of clubs who can offer a service to others, such as marketing and communications team, Strathclyde Telegraph, Strathclyde Fusion, Strathclyde Photography and RAG, to name but a few. These resources are criminally underused, and many clubs are seeking costly external services which are easily available in-house. This is unnecessary, and I firmly believe that making full and proper use of these services not only strengthens the collaborative nature of the club's network, but will serve to improve the quality of resources available to clubs as services become better used and more developed in structure. The union has recently set about creating a proper sponsorship structure which it offers to clubs. And although some clubs have bought into this deal, in general they are dissatisfied, to the extent where some have given up on their sponsorship halfway through the year and returned to external bars. I could not be more sympathetic. I've been through 2 external bars with my club, and situated in the union as we are now, I know there is massive room for improvement. I will work to make sure that the union sponsorship deals compete properly with external competition. Within my job remit, this is something I can push for all clubs, sporting and non-sporting. And through enticing as many of them back to the union as possible, I believe this can create a backbone to a union community, setting in motion processes which will bring the union back to its former self. A busier union is a union which generates more revenue which will be invested right back into those who make it popular. It is my belief that clubs and societies do not make enough use of the services that a union can offer them. This is either through a lack of awareness of these services or simply a lack of desire to use them. Either way, this needs to improve. I will run advertising campaigns to demonstrate to clubs that we can offer them so much more than what they are taking advantage of just now, from meeting rooms to funding grants and so much more. Finally, the university's room booking system is farcical. There are many rooms within the university which are ideal for both training and meeting space, and yet university clubs are financially prohibited from using them by, for example, estates charging 60 quid to move some chairs and tables about. The whole system needs overhauled, but I will start with working towards making the process less complex and more affordable, so that clubs can really tap in to this underused resource. As a 5th year who has been volunteering from the start, I've been there, I've seen it all, and I've done it all. My overall target is to make sure that others benefit from union involvement just as much as I have. I have the ideas, I have the knowledge, and I have the expertise to make this happen. So vote Matt Graham for Vice President, Activities and Development, and I'll be on target for you.
Zara behind us.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to stand behind the podium because I think the podium is taller than me. So keep it nice and close. Hi everyone, I'm Zara and I'm also running for Vice President of Activities and Development. Can you hear me all okay? I hope you're all well and surviving. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm in my 4th year, I'm doing honours in law honours in politics. And I'm currently the Vice President of the Strathclyde University Muslim Student Association, SUMSA, and I've had experience in quite a diverse range of societies. I used to be President of the Mooting Society, which is like the law society kind of mock court. So basically I've been really privileged in my time at Strathclyde in that I've been able to do so much, and I've been challenged and given so many responsibilities, and that's allowed me to identify what's really wrong and what we really need to do. So for those of you who did actually attempt to read my manifesto, I have the 3 C's: continuity, creativity and credit. And that's my understanding of what's really going wrong. When I was doing a lot of work, at least 2 years of experience in clubs and societies, I found that I was constantly climbing Mount Everest again and again and again, just because of really base problems that we shouldn't be having. And then you find so much talent is wasted because so much of the time you're trying to figure out what the last committee did or figure out how you can do this, how you can do that. So that's why I propose that we need to kind of bridge, set the foundation. Let's just fix all these problems that don't need to be there and start aspiring to be greater and start aspiring to be better. And how we achieve that is actually through talking to each other and saying, well, I did this well and I did that not so well, so let's keep going. And I think for me, fundamentally, the problem, the main problems are that we need to be more aspirational and start setting a higher target. And I feel like I think it's because I'm not behind the podium. I think I'm just trying to think about. Okay, that's fine. I think for me, if I was elected as Vice President, I would not only make the union something that you physically enter, but I would make the union something that is accessible to all. And it's not this idea that in order to be part of the union, you need to physically enter the building. It's in being part of it wherever you are. And the idea that as a student, your experience at university isn't just limited to being here, doing your studies, and that's it. It's also about challenging yourself, because when I was challenged, I was allowed to excel. I was allowed to appreciate just how far you can go and just how great your experience can be. I apologise for my incoherence, and I hope that I've said enough to entice you a little bit to vote Zara. And I'm just going to leave it there. Is that okay?